Thank you for being a part of this learning and collaborative initiative by GAME to enable micro enterprises and small businesses come back to life in a post-COVID world. Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship GAME is a platform for mission-aligned partners to learn, innovate, and collaboratively build a mass entrepreneurship ecosystem. Through this 60 days and 60 voices, we hope to disseminate learnings and collaborative opportunities from various partners into the ecosystem so that we can all move forward. In today's episode, we have with us Ashu and Mukesh from Glasswing. Welcome, Ashu and Mukesh.
Hey, Nirav, hi. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Can you start by sharing with us what Glasswing is all about?
Sure. So, hi, this is Ashu. Now I'm founder of Glasswing. So Glasswing essentially is a 2.5-year-old logistics startup. We are building an on-demand full spectrum trucking service for blue chip and large enterprises, offering a reliable and digital service experience to them. Our core focus area is around primary cargo movement as well as secondary. And we are building specific solutions for EXIM, agri, chemicals, pharma, right, as we start to scale. Yeah, so that's very briefly about us.
Sure. And clearly, this is a critical time for your platform, for your business. Transportation is one of the key links in the supply chain. So what was your experience during once the COVID lockdown started, and how are the challenges shaping up for you or resolving now?
It's a interesting thing what you ask, kind of common question on everyone's head these days. But yeah, so before the kind of COVID started to really impact the industry, per se, was already facing a bit of slowdown for that year itself, where demand growth was muted, and because of the financial crisis due to banks and NBFC, there was severe impact on the credit access. And especially for MSMEs, right? And companies with having early traction, startups like us were already facing severe working capital crunch, and COVID has created a demand zero situation for weeks now. And for us, when it started, they were close to we only kind of were almost having 5 to 7% of demand from the normal movement days. And the biggest challenge for us was there were so many vehicles that got stranded across borders, highways, factories, and warehouses. Given we are a primary cargo mover, which essentially plies interstate cargo, and like us, there are so many of other transporters who face similar situations. Given there was some lack of coordination among authorities. State government, central government initially, and multiple clarifications coming in. So there was a whole lot of chaos on the highways. The truckers were getting so much panic that there was no food, there was no challenges in terms of what to do. They were getting some half-baked information. So all of that was creating a whole lot of challenges altogether. Right, once this happened.
Right.
Yeah, Neil, you were asking something?
So you mentioned the chaos, right? And I think that the initial 1 week was very chaotic. And it's almost now been 3-4 weeks. So has the situation started resolving? Now there is some kind of movement. What is it that you are seeing?
So I'll kind of let Mukesh give the operational ground reality on that. However, to my mind, what I observed was that it was not an impact of 1 week, right? It was actually an impact of almost 3 weeks. Now, when things started to kind of come back to moving, and there was so much of coordination which was required. Given so many trucks which were stranded, after over a month, there are still around 30 trucks which are stranded. There were certain trucks which were difficult to even trace because drivers left midway, given the lockdown, and now there's no way for them to kind of reach back to the vehicle itself. So Mukesh, you might want to kind of add more to all that.
Yeah. So initial, as we all know, the problem came in, and people had almost no time to react to the situation. So they did every bit to move forward, but they never knew they're actually moving forward toward the problem or to the solution. For a trucker, who's on the road, when he's moving from, say, for example, Roorkee to Bhiwandi, he was under the impression I'm moving to my destination, but destination itself was a red zone.
Yeah.
So when in his mind, when he's moving forward, that moving forward is actually getting into a trap.
Yeah.
In between, they reached places which were containment zones. There were places where there was no food available. There was other ecosystem challenges. So it actually created no man's land for them. There was no support. And these truckers not only depend on fuel, food, and other things, but they also need their brothers and their helpers on road to guide them further for all the locations.
Yeah.
Which was creating a chaos in their mind, and there was uncertainty. Shall I go forward? Because forward is a trap.
Yeah.
So they chose to detour. They chose to leave the truck in between. And there was a good thing happened, which government immediately reacted to the situation and said that, okay, don't worry about the paperwork. Don't worry about the e-way bills. Don't worry about the other ancillary things which are required to move a truck. Just focus on physical safety of goods and people.
Yeah.
So which happened in a good manner. It arrested situation, but it took at least 3 to 4 weeks to people to understand that what's going on.
Yeah.
Slowly things are picking up, but the challenge still remain the same, that India has been colored green, orange, containment, and red zone.
Yeah.
And there is no heat map available that I can actually move from green or orange zone to reach a destination, or can I reach halfway and park it?
True.
That is still there, which
Yeah.
is adding risk and uncertainty to the ecosystem.
Correct. Correct. How has been your communication with the authorities? What has been the mode? Is it mostly public notices? Are you able to get support from local authorities? I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs have had these questions for us, and I'm sure these questions sort of magnify for the operations you are in.
Nice mix of both. Definitely the public information which is coming from central government and state bodies, it is helping and is very transparent and fast thanks to digital ways. But also what is happening on the ground, dealing with the local DMs. If I have to operate a warehouse in Hisar, the coordination, the availability of these guys on social media, their phone numbers are there. Immediate reaction from government on such issues, it's definitely helping. So it's not a monologue that there's a press release or a print media. It's a dialogue. Definitely our people are able to reach out the concerned authority at state level or district level. Okay. But and there have been good webinars done by central government. Mr. N. Sivasalam has conducted few seminars just to educate people that we can do certain things. But there is, I would say, there's mountain to conquer still.
Yeah. Yeah. And
certainly, I guess the things have improved. Initially, there were a lot of challenges, even not there as well. One current challenge, what we see, right, when you ask that how the situation is shaping up right now, while demand is coming back, though slowly. However, the challenge still is, with respect to labor, drivers, and all. That essentially means that people who have gone back, and a lot of those drivers, helpers, and all, there's no means for them to come back. So that is one.
Yeah.
Second is, given this is a Rabi harvest and now actually Kharif sowing season.
Yeah.
A lot of them are getting involved in their farming or related activities.
Correct.
Given there's no clarity onto people that when COVID would go, and people are essentially going by the hearsay or what the media is essentially telling. So there's no way in terms of real factual information. So there are not many vehicles available right now for a truck aggregator like us, right, who does not own a fleet.
Right.
However, my sense is that people who have large fleets and pan-India operations having multiple hub points and all, they might be able to move more and more. Whereas some of these smaller fleet operators right, who have 5, 10 odd vehicles, and who are more dependent on some of these migrant laborers and kind of drivers and all, they would be the maximum impacted. And the fear is that that is the largest set of people. Almost 90% of the market of say 6.1 million trucks, right, which is there in India, is essentially smaller operators, and they are getting severely beaten up right, due to this crisis, right? So that is one of our biggest fears right now.
Yeah, sure. I think labor mismatch in which producers and in your case truckers, fleet operators may not find the labor, and at the other end there will also likely to be also a case where labor does not find productive work where they are, and or are not able to reach where the work is, right? So this movement of supply and demand needs to happen. What's happening on the liquidity front? Has that opened up for you? Because unless the payments come in, you may not be able to service other demand. So has that started? Has that cycle started? How are you managing?
Yeah, so very interesting question. So liquidity for liquor has started, but not for working capital, right? So that working capital has been a major challenge, right, for the past 12 months, and it has amplified. Even large customers, the AAA category customers, right, listed ones and all, they have delayed payments, right? Exercise force majeure. And the typical credit period from 90 days is right now hovering somewhere around 135 to 150 days.
Right.
For an SME like us, the credit comes at a rate of 1.5 to 1.7% per month.
Yeah.
So you can look at that, the kind of payout it would be, required to pay. So that is one, and which obviously impact the profitability because the margins are typically not so high in trucking, right, as in some other sectors. So that is one. The second piece is with the banking crisis as well, lot of discounting platforms, right, which we have been talking with and all, have essentially stopped giving further discounting lines, or have even kind of taken away that discounting line. So what essentially means is for a company or a smaller company or a smaller fleet operator, suddenly his working capital has been kind of pulled away, right, whatever it was, plus all the other challenges, right, which are there. So it has actually amplified significantly. And right now we don't see a very concrete step from government and authorities, right, for MSME segment, right, which we see has happened in the Western world, wherein some good packages have been brought in to kind of help there. Banks in any case don't help most of the MSMEs just because their qualification criteria that you need to be 3 year in existence and should be profit making. Only then we will lend, right? So there might be a lot of schemes from SIDBI and all which are coming, more targeted towards either very small professional service businesses, right, which might be for individuals and who make profit day one, versus someone who's trying to create a business at a larger scale.
Has any opportunity, new opportunity? You mentioned that there are a number of challenges and number of things that are shaping up. Has there been any new opportunity that is shaping up?
Yeah. So see, from our perspective, there are quite a few opportunities which we have been working upon. Taking cues on what is happening, how the scenarios might pan out, and all those things. So few specific things what we see is that this challenge is going to be there for the next 9 to 12 months, right? It's not going to come back to normal so soon for the truckers. And given lack of support which has been given by the government as of now, we are not even sure that how the larger set of fleet operators might get impacted. So we see that trucking would be impacted quite a bit. However, there would be opportunities opening up for rail, for air cargo.
Yeah.
Given the passenger movement would be no less, there is a possibility of no those assets being used for cargo movement. So that is one specific thing we are working upon, and creating certain products. There is a very clear requirement also which is coming up right from the customers. So that is one.
Sure.
The second piece is also about aggregation of warehouse and related services space, wherein the customers also would be looking at a kind of reduction of cost and everything. And there might be some new distribution models which would also be coming up for them, right? For them to solve their supply chain issues.
Yeah.
So what we are doing is that we are actually working with some other transporters and asset owners, and creating an on-demand warehousing and secondary distribution capability to offer them specific solutions, right, which will also help them to reduce cost and add efficiency. Right. So that's another product which is there. There are couple of things which we are also working on, the last mile or essential distribution, more focused towards PDS, which is public distribution system, and engaging with some of the government agencies as well, right? So that is something which is again a new opportunity what we see. So yeah, there are things like that, right, which we see. Mukesh, anything you might want to add?
Yeah. So while Ashu talked about design changes and some new product offerings, there are certain things which are happening on digital ways of working, like e-POD, e-invoicing,
Yes.
online LR. So these were earlier, these have been part of our roadmap from day one, but we were finding a right opportunity to implement because there is acceptance from vendor, there is acceptance from our customers, end customers. Sure. With this touchless, manless kind of operations coming into picture, these digital ways picked up very fast, and the acceptance from both the ends, from in value chain, where is a vendor who was earlier saying that I need a physical copy or I need to send you a physical copy of ePOD, now has gracefully accepted to send the ePOD through WhatsApp or other ways.
Sure.
On customer side, the physical ability or the LR has converted into online LR.
Sure.
Those digital ways are coming up very quickly.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for these insights, and I think the demand is not going away. The models are changing. There is flux, and hopefully the scenarios will pan out as a more productive supply chain and ecosystem. What learnings can you share with the entrepreneurs facing similar challenges, and what is the most critical support you need from the ecosystem?
See, I guess these are challenging times, right, for everyone, big, small, large, organizations. One, our belief is that business models, right, people can argue about it, good, bad, or whatever, but it is more about the kind of resilience which a larger team is making, and the grit of that team altogether is something which is very, very critical. So that is what we think, that if that the teams are resilient and they are really hungry about what, and really believe on what they are trying to do. I guess that would be one very, very important thing for people to be looking at. Not getting lost out onto that, okay, for this 1 month, 2 month, I'm not making any cash profit or so, but maybe coming as a team together to tide this whole situation. So that is one big thing. And the learning for us has been, and we feel really fortunate that the team which is there with us, and there are about 100 odd people, there has not been a need as such to kind of let go of people. People have kind of come themselves and said, okay, let's, as part of a larger family, or Glasswing family, how do we survive this? For these 2 or 3 months, 4 months, right, whatever it needs, we are willing to kind of, go for it, right? So rather than a top-down approach on few things, there has been more collaborative thing which has happened. So my sense is that spending a lot of time with the teams, building the trust, that relationship is something which is very, very important for any entrepreneur, any MSME or anything, right? That's one. The second learning has been, I know while we talk with a lot of people, there are a lot of people who are just trying to defend what they have, right, and try to see what needs to be done. We believe that a three-pronged strategy would make sense. One that we do whatever it takes to defend the business. The second is to essentially see that what are the attack on the opportunities which are coming along, and be really swift in your response, and create quick MPVs or whatever, and even if it fails, that's okay, but you try and do quick things. So there's a second thing, right, in terms of attacking that. And my sense is that given it's a demand zero situation, it does not matter if it is your core business or no. If there is a specific opportunity and your assets and capabilities as an organization help to support that, it is worthwhile to go after that opportunity attack, right? So that's a second learning for us.
Sure.
The third thing is more in terms of which Mukesh touched upon on the digital ways. It's also about to get your house right in terms of lot of things which you might have planned for your existing business, and there were on ground challenges, but this is a time when lot of digital means would get adoption by different stakeholders.
Sure.
So the focus and the speed, right, at which you have to execute a lot of those things is something which will cut across from traditional guys. So I guess it's important to be aggressive as well there, right, to kind of make those things. Mukesh, anything you might want to add other than these?
Ashu, you have covered most of it. One thing we could ask from the ecosystem or for government is from the AEO perspective, the authorized economic operator. Right now, the construct of AEO across the world is very tight, and for different reasons. There has to be a new way looking into the AEO piece, specifically for logistics or 3PL provider, and especially who are young in the ecosystem.
Sure.
That would help us contribute in effective manner because we bring a lot of, I would say, new age thoughts. We are agile. And if there is an opportunity for us to look into this particular kind of program, and we are authorized to do certain things, sure, the kind of product offering which Ashu has talked earlier will be of real benefit.
Sure. Thank you, Mukesh. I thank you, Ashu, for amplifying the voice of the transporter, and thank you for sharing your perspective. I think the key takeaways are belief in your business model, service, belief in your team, and treat them as extended family. Don't just defend the business, but also look for opportunities. And lastly, get your house in order during this time, whether it is digital adoption or your systems and tools and processes. So thank you so much for your time, and look forward. Thanks. Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Nirav. Thanks, Mukesh. Bye.
Thanks. Take care.